What's up, suckas? Tonight, we try our first dungeon in the new world. And it's Atal'Dazar. It's the dungeon I most recently have experience with. And that doesn't mean I remember jack shit. I did not remember much at all of this dungeon. The first thing I noticed was my druid tank, Fury Swipes, was healing himself in combat and coming out of form to do it. So I had to sit there and change my code and make sure he doesn't heal himself, double check that it worked, and then I could resume pulling. Now, you can do this. Everything that you see here can be done on any computer. Running 5 boxes is no big deal. And you can download all my stuff to be able to do this yourself. Now, my hunter was just going ham. That you can watch my mage. My mage continually, disappointed. The fire mage just was not working tonight, and I really don't know what it was. I'm going to have to get to the bottom of that. But the survival hunter was just hilarious, always leading the boards, and this was the closest I came to getting killed at the beginning. This was my first true brush with death. Then I got to this first boss, and I didn't remember it. I thought this was the pull. I thought this was starting the boss. This was not starting the boss. This was just a really hard pull, and I wasn't ready for it, and I immediately got murdered. And didn't go well. I got to use my shaman to get up and try my 1-button res, and it worked. So then I rearranged everybody the way I remembered, and I kind of remember this boss, and I didn't know how hard this was going to be because I'm used to doing this in heroic or mythic, and it kind of began to come back to me when I saw him do transfusion. I realized, oh crap, we got to get in that pool of blood. And I didn't think to just hit the up arrow, which would have moved everybody into the pool of blood. I ran back to my guys and I tried to, make them follow me into the blood. It kind of worked. And by that time, she was down pretty good. And I began to realize at this point, oh crap, not only is this low level, it is not heroic. It does not have the heroic mechanics, which I was used to doing. And so it's very forgiving. And here I get my first good piece of equipment. Ooh, that's a good feeling, man, when you get that first piece of equipment. That's why we're suckers. That's why we do it. Here's where I first began to use my AoE. And then I remember this bird. I have to interrupt him. So come to these. This is a kind of a mini boss. He doesn't drop any loot in the middle. I decide I'm just going to YOLO him. I'm just going to have everybody come in and just do the AoE button. And yeah, it worked. It worked. This was actually pretty easy, just YOLOing in and AoEing, and kind of watching your health, throwing some heals down. Here I'm getting pretty low, and I'm not healing. I should be healing more. But now my screen flashes, and it says, Fury Swipes, you should probably heal, brah. You should probably heal. And so, the rest of the trash is kind of the way I remembered it. These pulls, not nearly as hard as I remembered them, but I had to undo this whole curse thing. I forgot about this curse thing where you had to move apart. So the first try on this boss, I didn't remember him at all. I figured, I got to go kill the totems, I think. And I wasn't really paying attention to this poison fire that you're standing in. You got to get out of that immediately, and I was not getting out of it. And I was just trying to toe to toe him, and I wasn't really convinced I had to go kill the totems or I had to kill him. I really didn't remember. I don't remember. And then people started dying, and everything started going wrong, and it was all my fault. And this first pull was really, really bad. So I went back to the documentation and did some reading up, and I did the second pull, and it was going to be better. It was going to be super. It was going to be amazing, except if you see on the right side, somebody didn't come into the pull, And so the whole thing reset. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it right this time. We're all going to go in. We're all going to burn that totem. We're going to burn that freaking totem. We're burning it. We're burning it. Look at that. He's not even coming. Oh, and get out of the fire. And I think I did get out of the fire in time there. And so we're hitting the 2 key on the way. We're hitting our instance and stuff. And oh, get out of the fire. Get out of the fire. Oh my God. And boom. And we're on the 3rd totem. And this is going really well. And I'm thinking, oh man, this is no problem. And then, we start fighting him. And I don't remember this mechanic where he put stuff on the ground. And I knew this mechanic well a few years ago. I knew it very well. And I had it all on lock. And only right about now do I realize, oh shoot, I should be like strafing my guys out of this goo and just having them stand while I tank around. That's how I used to do it. Tank walking backwards and have guys, just strafe out of the goo if it lands on them. And so I kind of started to do that. I did strafe them out of the goo. They did get in the goo again, but it was too late. The boss was dead. That's what you get. That's what you get for not being ready for multi-boxers. Free boxers. This is free boxing, bro. More loot. So then we get Raison, who this is a fight I'm extremely familiar with, but still not familiar enough to remember how to set my guys up to avoid the terrifying gaze. I did it. I put them in the wrong spot, and when it came to terrifying gaze, I strafed wrong because they were set up wrong, and everybody got terrified, and things were a mess. And here again, I realized, well, this is not exactly heroic. That would have been a wipe on heroic, and it is not a wipe here. I just got everybody back together, kinda. I guess a couple of those guys are behind a wall, and I did. We did run around and we popped an ad, even though we tried to avoid it, we popped an ad. But I mean, it's basically scaled down to your level, and yeah, there's very little you can do wrong to screw it up, and you get good gear. So I got some more gear. This gear's gonna be useful in the battleground later, man. When I start running battlegrounds, I'm gonna get all this gear. And right now, every single drop is an upgrade for me, so I don't really have to check it against anything. So this one, I kind of sort of remembered, but I had to go back to the documentation. And Badoinker is just doing an incredible job as a survival hunter. He's just breaking the game, which is hilarious. And then I know I'm supposed to avoid that shadow because I looked in the documentation and I backed it up, and it was already too late. That shadow was never going to get to the boss and cause me any issues. And that is it. That is Atal'Dazar, and there ain't nothing left but the crying, but the weeping and gnashing of teeth of these dead bosses and the collecting of loots. But I didn't really know how to get out because they changed all that. So I found this eyeball at the bottom, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, they've got a new mechanism for getting out. So I'm just going to tilde click this eyeball at the bottom, and then I'll tilde click everybody out of here. That's it. That was easy. Kinda. It was challenging. It was way more challenging than soloing. Soloing would be very boring there, but that's it. Fury Swipes out.